Hey guys, you're watching PhoneArena's video review of the Samsung Omnia 7, which is one of Samsung's first Windows Phone 7 devices. As pretty much all other Windows Phone 7 handsets on the market, the Samsung Omnia 7 is a really high-end device due to the operating system's minimum specification requirements. It has a 1 GHz chipset, a large capacitive touchscreen, 5 megapixel camera, GPS and whatnot. So let's take a close look at the front now. The Samsung Omnia 7 has a 4-inch capacitive touchscreen. It is a super AMOLED display which delivers great contrasts and really saturated colors. The resolution of the screen is 480 by 800 pixels, which makes for one really crisp image. As usual, the viewing angles on the Super AMOLED screen are just great. Underneath the display we have 3 keys. The home button is a traditional hardware one, and the other 2 are capacitive keys for back and search. On the left side we find the volume rocker. On the top is the 3.5mm headset jack and a micro USB port, which is hidden with this sliding cover, which works simply great. It's a very beautiful solution. On the right side of the phone we have this power lock key and the 2-stop camera shutter. At the back side of the phone we have a 5 megapixel camera with an LED flash. Of course, we like the super high-end build quality of the Samsung Omnia 7. It's a phone with a very significant weight, and Samsung has utilized metal for most of it, including the back and the left and right sides. The battery cover is also made of metal. So as a whole, the Omnia feels really great in the hand. It has a really classy feel to it. The Samsung Omnia 7 is running stock Windows Phone 7 operating system. This is your home screen, and as you can see it is populated with these live tiles, which are not simply like icons because they are animated and show relevant content. For example, this PhoneArena inbox here shows me that I've got one unread message. It is very fun to use this home screen because it's very responsive and animated very smoothly. This arrow here shows us the way to the main menu. Here is where you find all your applications and hubs, because you know that Windows Phone 7 is centered around these hubs, which are like agglomerations of many relevant applications. For example, the Office hub takes us to a place where we can quickly access OneNote, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and also work with SharePoint. So this is the idea, the basic idea behind your hubs. So let's start with the most important probably of all the hubs, which is the People hub. Here is where you'll find all of your contacts in this list here. And you can quickly jump to a specific letter by tapping this key here and choosing the desired letter. You can also search for a contact in first or last name simply by typing. It's a pretty standard stuff. But Microsoft has also integrated the phone book with Facebook. So with a swipe to the left we get to the What's New screen, and here you can find your news from Facebook. Another swipe takes us to the recent correspondences that you've had, and these here are not only the last people that you've talked with, but also the profiles that you've viewed. That's all from the People hub. Let's see the Messaging hub, which is another crucial hub here. It's actually not a hub, but an application really. Messages in Windows Phone 7 are displayed in threaded view, which helps you have your correspondences more organized. You can quickly turn a text message into a multimedia one, actually to a media one, by clicking this attach here, which allows you to attach, an image or a sound file. Another important part of the Windows Phone 7 operating system is, of course, email support. In this first screen you have, of course, all of your emails that are listed here. With a simple swipe to the left you get to your unread messages, and yet another swipe takes you to the urgent messages. So let's see how a typical email message looks. Here it is. Of course, emails are showed in HTML view. Scrolling is very smooth. You can zoom using pinch and zoom, so a lot of options here to play with. Here are the additional options. So great email support, great messaging. Let's move forward to the daily briefing hub, which is a custom hub by Samsung. This is one area where manufacturers will have the opportunity to put their customizations. Carriers will be able to put their content here. So this is the daily briefing hub by Samsung. In its first screen we have the some weather information and a small forecast here. Let's swipe to the left and we get our news by Reuters. Here your options are, you can change the editions here. For example, we want UK, and you can also choose the category of news that you want to view. And there you have it, your news here. And in the last screen of the Daily Briefing Hub, you can get stocks information by Yahoo Finance. Moving forward, this is just an app that we have installed. Let's jump to the Microsoft Office Hub, because it's a very important part of Windows Phone 7. So its first screen has to do with OneNote. You have great note-taking capabilities here with Windows Phone 7 and the support for OneNote. Let's quickly create a note here. We type our note and we can easily record audio or import a picture. You have some additional options here, like to create a bulleted list, some formatting options and so on. So very good stuff for note taking. Next we have our documents. We have Word, Excel and PowerPoint support here. For Word support we can say that it is quite limited, unfortunately. Of course you'll be able to view the most contemporary Office formats, but when it comes to editing options, they're very scarce here. You can just type and when you want to format the text, this is all. These are all of your options here, like bold, underline, and only 3 font colors or highlight colors. Microsoft Excel support is a bit better because you can choose from a pretty nice catalog of functions here. Let me just hit that. Yeah, here it is. These are your basic functions, but you can also use many additional functions in Microsoft Excel. Finally, you have PowerPoint support. Unfortunately, you cannot create PowerPoint presentations, only open and view them. Here is a PowerPoint presentation here. And of course your editing options are also quite limited. You can only type text, and that's all. What's really great about Windows Phone 7 is that it comes with an all-new Internet Explorer. So let's load up PhoneArena here. The browser loads quickly enough, actually very quickly, and scrolling is really great. It's absolutely smooth. There are no issues at all here with this browser, and zooming is done in 2 ways. One is traditional pinch and zoom, which is great, and which is even better is that you can actually pan while you're zooming, much like on the iPhone. The other way to zoom into your content is by double tap, which also works incredibly accurately here, just as on the iPhone. So we were really surprised by the performance of the new Internet Explorer, and we would go as far as to say that it is probably one of the really best mobile browsers out there, like Safari. Of course, it has some drawbacks. For example, you cannot view a web page in full screen when in portrait mode. You have to switch to landscape, and you then automatically view your page in full screen, which is not bad, but unfortunately you cannot input a new web address this way. You have to switch back to portrait mode, which is really inconvenient, and we hope that Microsoft will quickly address this issue. So what else? Let's take a look at Xbox Live, or your Games Hub. First up here you have your collection of games, and you have some suggestions here for new titles that you might want to try. We installed these two games here, and we're left with pretty positive impressions about Windows Phone 7's gaming capabilities. Let's swipe to the left and we get to the spotlight. There seems to be no spotlight of the day here, so let's swipe once more and we get to our Xbox Live avatar here. The calendar in Windows Phone 7 is pretty minimalistic. You have this day view, which lets you quickly pick a certain hour of the day for your next appointment, and with a swipe to the left you get to agenda view. If you want to get to month view, you have to press this key here, and here it is, month view. Unfortunately, the days which have appointments in them are displayed like this with really tiny text. It's so tiny actually that you can almost miss that there is an appointment in that day. That said, creating an appointment is very easy. You just select the hour of the day that you want, type in the subject of the appointment, and maybe add some more details here, and you're set. This is the Pictures Hub. First you have your collection of pictures, then you have what's new in terms of pictures in Facebook, because the service is integrated here. And finally you can sort your images by all, date or favorites. Images made with the Samsung Omnia 7 turn out to be pretty decent, you know. Details were very good, color reproduction was accurate, so we're pretty content with what we got out of the 5 megapixel camera with LED flash. Oh yeah, the flash is also very strong, so it is good enough to illuminate a small room, for example. Using the Music and Videos Hub is simply awesome, because it puts the last artist that you've listened to as a background panoramic image, so it's really a very enjoyable experience. Unfortunately, you don't get options here like equalizers, but it's still a very fun music player. Here is the new marketplace for mobile, which is gonna be used in Windows Phone 7. It is divided into 3 main categories: applications, games and music, and it also shows if there are updates available for your downloaded applications. Swipe to the left and you get to the featured artists here. Another swipe takes you to the featured Xbox Live title. And now let's take a look at the applications category, for example. First you have the featured Xbox Live title, then you have all the categories available and some other titles here, new titles and featured apps. We can't say that there will be an abundance of games and applications at launch, but still the marketplace does not feel like a wasteland, that's for sure. Here is the Zune marketplace. It shows you, it has a really nice interface, really. You see that the background picture will always be different depending on the featured artists. You can track new releases here and also see top albums and then browse music by genre. Let us search for an artist real quick here and see what will come out of this. Say Linkin Park, you immediately get a new background image with the desired artist, which is really a nice experience. You can also listen to 30-second song previews here. We think that the Samsung Omnia 7 is really a great smartphone overall, not only because of its solid build quality and high-end features, but also because of it running Windows Phone 7, which is a quite contemporary, fun to use and functional operating system. So for more information regarding the Samsung Omnia 7 and the rest of the initial Windows Phone 7 squad, you can visit us anytime at PhoneArena.com.